But this week I picked someone who we read about a lot, or we read about a lot in school, but I personally didn't know a ton about her until a few years ago. Have you guys heard of Sojourner Truth? So Sojourner Truth was actually born Isabel Baum, and she was born into slavery. So she was an enslaved woman. She was born in 1797, okay, and lived until 1883. So she lived a really long time, 80 years, okay? And she was, like I said, born into slavery in the state of New York, which a lot of times we don't think about states that are that far north having individuals who were born into slavery, right? But that happened often. Couple of really cool things about her. One year before a law was enacted, or a law went into effect in New York to free enslaved people, she actually escaped slavery she had 5 children. She escaped slavery with her youngest daughter, who was an infant at the time, and went to a family who was a abolitionist family. It was a family that was anti-slavery and wanted to end slavery. When she did that, she also learned the legal system, fought for legally her son, to get her son back, who was illegally sold into slavery in Alabama. So not only did she escape slavery, but she fought to get her son back, one of her sons anyway, who was illegally sold into slavery. The interesting piece about all of this, and the piece that I think we would know a lot about people who were enslaved, she never had the opportunity to learn to read and write at that moment in time. And so she did all of this without having those skills, right? She also dictated her own autobiography to someone without having the skills of reading and writing. Other really cool things about her, not only was she an abolitionist, right? So someone who was against slavery and wanted slavery to end, she also fought for women's rights as well. She has a really famous speech called Ain't I a Woman? That she gave at the Ohio, let's see, I want to get it right, Ohio Women's Rights Convention, okay, where she challenged prevailing notions of gender and racial inequality. So it was really outspoken. She and a bunch of other abolitionists and social justice advocates. So the one thing, though, that people often don't talk about when they talk about Sojourner Truth is that she actually was disabled. And a lot of things that you read will not even mention this. This is a new thing that I learned about her a few years ago when I was doing a little bit of research. Disability was bad at that point in time, right? It certainly wasn't something that you wanted to identify with having. And she felt that she needed to be strong. She felt she needed to sort of hide those parts of herself in order to get her message heard, right? And in order to do the things that she wanted to do. So that's one of the things that I think is really important for us to remember about her, and that when we hear people talk about her, we make sure that we talk about the fact that she actually was disabled as well. Lastly, I have one of the quotes that I found of hers that I really enjoyed, and I think that kind of as we're going through, this whole year of difficult things for all of us in some way, shape, or form, this quote really stuck out to me. And she said, "I will not let my life's light be determined by the darkness around me." I will not let my life's light be determined by the darkness around me. And I really appreciate that. And how, in her battle for equal rights, and her battle for women's rights, and her battle for racial equality, she was doing really hard things at a time when it was probably not safe for her to do really hard things. And so if we can take that notion and bring it into now, and some of the things that we're going through and things that we're working through, can help remind us, right, what people before us have gone through and what they've done.